Cat 6 from True Cable. I bought some of their connectors and I did a review on those, and you can check that out in my videos. So I got a camera job coming up, so I bought some Cat 6 from them, and like I said, this is the first time I'm buying from them. So let's just kind of look at the box here. Now, I know a lot of this stuff I'm going to talk about seems a little over the top, and why am I so concerned with the construction of the box and all this kind of stuff? But when you're using Cat 6 or any kind of cabling on jobs, and you're bringing this box to another job, and then you're bringing this box to another job, or you're working with the box during the job, little details like this are important. So durability of the box and how it's constructed and everything is important. So that's why I'm going to be covering this. So overall impressions are, it's pretty decent. It's not the best I've seen, but there's some room for improvement. But overall, it's pretty good. So the construction of the box, I think the cardboard could be a little bit thicker. It's okay. This side of the box, the cardboard is pretty flat here, just cut out here. But when you look at this side, it's already kind of pushing away from the box. So I think a little work could be done to make this a little sturdier, so it kind of sits up like the other side does. It's got handles. Well, let's see, actually it's got one handle. This little plastic ring in here I noticed down there, that's kind of sharp. It is pointed upwards, not downwards, but it seems to me like they could make that a little bit smoother, so it's not so abrasive when pulling the cable out. It's probably not going to be a problem, but it seems like that could be a little bit more rounded. Also, too, I noticed one of the, let's see if I can find it here. Where is it? Okay. Oh, yeah, one of these clips is not pushed in here like the rest of them. See that little tab right there? It's not clicked in, not pushed in, so. Besides that, I don't think there's too much else to cover here. I noticed on this tag here too that they're shipping their cable out of like an Amazon facility or True Cable Holdings facility or whatever it is, so that you get the cable quick versus it coming all the way from, let's say, Montana or wherever they're located, Kansas City, Montana, I assume. So that's nice. I think this was like next day shipping. So that's nice. So when you want to get the cable fast, like, I got a job coming up, I need more cable, or I ran out of cable, you can get the cable in quick. So I like that a lot. And I did get black for this job because I may have to run exposed. And all the cameras are going to be black. So portions of it may be exposed potentially. So just in case I bought black, that's why it's black, not blue. And I think that's it for the box. Oh, well, actually, and this is we'll see how it's reeled. That's important too. It's pretty standard. I mean, well, not standard. Different companies have their version of how they reel it. I know another company calls it like Reelex or something like that. So that's important too, because if it's wound well, then you're not going to get as much kinking in the cable and bends in the cable. Having cabling on a roll or reel is actually better, but then you have to have a cable caddy. But I mean, these are never 100% how the cable comes out. It will be a little bit bent, but how well they wind the cable in makes a difference. So when I'm on the job and I'm pulling the cable out, we'll see how well they've wound that up and determine how good of a job that is. So that's another factor to look at. Okay, so let's take a look at the actual cabling right now. So let's have a closer look at the jack or the cable itself. Starting with the jacket, it's a little shiny. Cable's pretty stiff, to be expected of structured cabling, solid structured cabling like this. The jacket feels The jacket itself feels a little on the thin side. I think they could have made it a little thicker. I don't have any precise way, I suppose, to measure that or compare that to other jackets of other cable manufacturers, but I don't know. It just seems like it could be slightly thicker. And let's strip some off here real quick. So as to be expected, it's Cat 6. So it should have that separator, and that is what you call it. That's what True Cable says. Let me just zoom in here a little bit, get a better picture. Here we go. That separator, it has the separator there. Separator itself feels okay. Yeah, it's just pretty much standard, not better or worse than other cabling separators and other Cat 6 cabling I've used. So it's pretty standard, feels fine. This is what I really like. They really did good on this. The ripcord is a solid stranded piece. A lot of the other cables have ripcords that are like this sort of like fibery, hairy kind of mess. And when you cut it, it just makes a mess everywhere. So that's a win on True Cable's part. Good job, True Cable. So that's just really easy to cut. You can just cut that and discard that, and it doesn't make a huge mess like other cable manufacturers. And besides that, I mean, it's pretty standard. I wish that True Cable could make the stripes on the different pairs. So you have the orange stripe, green stripe, brown stripe, blue stripe cable. I wish that they could make that stripe a little thicker, because as you get older, your eyes aren't as good, and of course you can wear glasses and all that, but it gets really hard sometimes to see that stripe, especially when you put it into the RJ45, and sometimes the stripe is not there the way you have the cable in the RJ45. So you like to flip the RJ45 around and go, hey, okay, just want to double check to make sure I got the pairs, orientated correctly. So I really wish, even if it was just a fraction of a bit bigger, or thicker, I should say, that stripe, I wish they could make that stripe bigger. But anyways, that's standard for most cabling I've seen. Some cable even doesn't even have the stripe. They just use a completely different color, which actually is not a bad idea. They would do like a dark or a normal orange and say like a very light orange to indicate stripe, which is actually not a bad idea, because sometimes trying to see that stripe is a real pain. So anyways, that's pretty standard, whatever. It's not a factor to not buy the cable. So, but besides that, it seems okay. I'm sure it'll perform just fine. I know it seems like True Cable has pretty good standards, and I do like to support smaller companies like True Cable, and they have good technical support, good YouTube videos. Price was pretty decent, so I think I'll be happy with it. But after I do this camera job, I'll know how it all worked out. So thanks for watching the video. Please like and subscribe.